Hello YouTube, this is Bidhead85 and thank you so much for joining me for this video. I wanted to do a video about 7 reasons I didn't want to have kids, but why listen to a child-free man when there are a lot of regretful parents out there? So let's get to it. Some of the reasons I do not want to have kids. 1, here's the first one. When my wife and I were discussing whether to start a family, all the reasons I gave as to why I didn't want kids have come true. Loss of freedom, loss of identity, the massive responsibility, the stress, the endless housework and mountain of washing, endless whining, the complete lack of time to myself. The stresses of it all have turned me into a shell of a person I was. I often contemplate running away, but I can't do that to my kids. I want to be a good dad. I love them so much. It's just that parenthood is killing me from the inside out. Another one states that they had a great job before they had kids, went from a low stress job that they love to a higher paying one that they hate, worked 12+ hour days and even weekends, but still struggling. I miss my old life so much. I miss my work and my friends, and above all, I desperately miss my wife. We used to have a great life. My wife is ruined physically and mentally for something that she didn't even want in the first place. I'm not sure what advice I'm asking for. I'm not sure what else there is to do here. But if anyone has anything to offer, even nice words, it would be appreciated. All our friends distance themselves and we literally have no one but each other. First of all, he pressured her into having kids. And now, most likely, she's suffering from some likely depression and resentment toward her husband. Moving on. My mental health. All of my coping energy is spent on my kids. So my mental health takes the back burner. Okay, no. You are doing a disservice to your children with that. You should see. This is what I hate about the sainthood of parents, is that they make sacrifice, even unhealthy sacrifice, noble. There is nothing noble about you having a nervous breakdown and your children suffering through what led up to it and not knowing if you're actually going to be okay. There's nothing noble about that. Moving on. I'm in therapy, but I had my kids before I found out that my struggles are ASD, ADHD related and will be lifelong. I still work every day to make life easier, but one of the boys is nonverbal autistic and one for sure has ASD on a similar level to me. Okay, good on you for getting therapy and help. I don't like being a mom. I'm a single mom and they are with me always. I never get a break. I constantly imagine how great my life would be without them. And then I feel like a horrible person because who thinks that like that? I'm such a good mom. No one would ever guess I think like that. I'm a fake. This next one. I've been very ambivalent. Now this one is we've been sold a lie about parental joy. Okay, let's go. We're coming in hot. I have been very ambivalent with fatherhood until the pandemic started. I love my kids, but feel like I was sold a bit of a lie on how fulfilling parenthood is. You know what? I'm going to venture a guess and say that until the pandemic, his wife did everything. I'm just gonna hazard the guess. I love my kids, but I feel like I was sold a bit of a lie on how fulfilling parenthood is. The reality is that it is 98% drudgery, boredom, repetition, mess, and tears for the 2% of joy. Everyone told me it would get better. By the time I realized they were lying, my wife was already pregnant with number 2. But I didn't totally 100% regret it because I do love the kids a lot and I was able to keep my career, which gives me a lot of meaning. This next one is from a stay-at-home dad who says, I find my career more rewarding and fulfilling than being a full-time dad. Oh, but I had to give up that job. I deeply resent being a stay-at-home dad. Our parents used to help out, but mother and father-in-law died of COVID and were anti-vaxxers, and my mother is immunocompromised, so we don't get much help at all. I'm doing it on my own rather than with a team. Welcome to single motherhood, by the way. So this is not only just like parental regret, but it also might sound like It's not also parental regret, but sometimes people have a bad choice of partner. Now, listen, just because I do not have any kids of my own does not mean that I don't have the joys of dealing with children. I remember I helped a kid learn how to swim. I remember taking a bunch of kids on a walk around a camp I worked at. I've dealt with a camper that wouldn't go to sleep and a day from hell. And I remember the panic of when we were on that night, we had a runner, so we had to sleep against the door because the door swung out. And we were not trying to, of course, have any kids missing. So I felt that door almost open, but of course I was against the door, which they were safe inside. I felt that panic. So just because I don't have children that live with me doesn't mean that I don't know the joy of dealing with children. I just get to give them back. So anyway, and also, I also know some of the horrors of bad parenting because I've seen it in my job. So I just want to talk about right now simply, we need to make it abundantly clear that having children can also be, not having children can also be an option for you. It doesn't have to be the natural course after getting married, as I once thought. I wanted to be married. When I wanted kids, I wanted to be married first. I wanted to have a firm foundation for a relationship. And that's why Shaun T and Scott photobombs are couple goals. They made sure that they were themselves a good foundation. And when Shaun T got overwhelmed with the kids, he and Scott went out on a date. They put themselves first. And a lot of parents are feeling guilty about that. Do not be afraid to put yourselves first, because there is nothing noble about having a nervous breakdown and traumatizing your kids in the wake of that. So, for the child-free women out there, I just want to solidarity with you. There are child-free men out there like me, and we need to, us child-free men. We need to support our sisters, because there's a whole lot more pressure on them than there is me. Because a single guy is just like, oh, whatever, he's a bachelor. And then they secretly whisper that he's gay, which is true in this case. But if you want to like, comment, subscribe, share, and if you like the video, check out some of my other ones before you click that bell. Talk to you soon and have a good one.